Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Heroes of the Storm. This one's going to be a little bit out of character because Hogger just dropped today. We're trying him out on the PTR. He is not live yet, but this video is going to be a little bit longer to go over his abilities, his talents, what I think are going to be the best builds for him, and how he's looking in theory. Really just in theory, because these are training dummies. Obviously, they don't move, they don't dodge skill shots. We can only take so much damage at a time. You can't see everything that happens right away. There you go. But jumping right into it, Staggering Blow is our Q. Actually, let's start all the way to the left here. Rage is part of our trait. It's actually not even our trait. This ability, or this thing, passive? This passive portion of Hogger's ability isn't listed in any of the tooltips on these abilities, but Rage is gained by taking damage or dealing basic attack damage. Hogger's basic ability cooldowns refresh 1% faster for every 2 points of Rage after 3 seconds of not gaining Rage. It decays quickly after those 3 seconds. So basically, once you're at maximum Rage, 100 Rage, you are going to get your cooldowns back 50% faster. It's not too shabby. That's about a third of the time shaved off. So Staggering Blow goes down to about 10 seconds. Easy Throw Dynamite is like a 6, maybe 5.5. Hog Wild comes down to 10-ish, I think, as well. I don't know if that counts our trait. It's a good question. Let's see. Throw this out here. I know, taking damage. It's so slow. But I need to get the 100 back. Then we can see if this actually works. It's destroyed. Oh, so the cooldown is counting while it's out. But this does not reduce the cooldown of our trait. So that isn't part of our basic abilities. Interesting. That's good to know, though. Because I think if this ability was up any faster, it'd probably be really busted. Anyway, back to the abilities themselves. Staggering Blow, swing your chain in a wide arc, dealing 307 damage to nearby enemies hit, knocking them away. If an enemy hits terrain, deal an additional 329 at level 20, and then stun them for 0.75 seconds. If they're stunned, you get 15 rage. So, there's no walls close enough, but this is perfect timing to just show you. Just like that. You can create terrain with your D button, and then you can use your Q to slap the enemies into them. If you want to do that into your trait, you can do that. You can do it into a wall. You can do it into any terrain. It's really good. The stun is really good, and having the increased rage is also really good, because that's going to be a super important part of managing Hogger's kit. Now, since we've already kind of shown you what the D does, it's called Loot Horde. It's just going to toss a bunch of junk on the battlefield. It's going to deal damage. It's going to knock away. It says it knocks away. That's as much as it knocks away. Boop, stunned. Take from that what you will. I mean, it's also going to heal us for 3% of our maximum health when we pick up the meat that comes out of it. It's going to heal us for 3% of our max health over 5 seconds, meaning a total of 15% we are going to get once this bad boy explodes. So it's a pretty ridiculous amount of health back on a bruiser who's already got that's a significant amount of health. You can also cancel the ability early to pick up the meat in case you are like running away and you have low health and you want to just do one of these and then do this and then grab that and keep running. Ta-da! Just like that, everything's fine. So there are talents that make that trait even better, and a lot more healing come with it, but we'll leave it at that for now. Our W is called Easy Throw Dynamite. It's a shoe full of dynamite that's going to blow up after 1.5 seconds and slow people by 30%. Now, if we manage to hit the ability directly in the center, like so, it's going to blow up immediately. And it's still going to do the slow and the AoE, still going to be super useful, stuff like that. But we're also going to generate rage in the amount of 10 when we hit those perfectly in the center, like so. The ability obviously has some travel time to it, so you're going to have to lead targets. You know, they're just training dummies. I'm not really trying very hard, but you get the idea. And then generating that rage with both your Q and your W, again, really important, because the only other way that you can get it is with your autos and taking damage, and both of those are pretty risky business. Now, the E ability for Hogger is probably going to be the most exciting part of his kit. So, Hog Wild. After 0.25 seconds, become unstoppable, uncontrollably spin towards the target direction, ricocheting off terrain. Every 0.125 seconds, deal 79 damage to nearby enemies, increased by 1% per each point of rage. If we have 100, that's double damage, so we're going to be doing... what's that, 140, like 150-ish? 160-ish? It's 158. Math is hard. You're welcome. But the refreshing period of this ability is probably the coolest thing. So I'm just going to show you, because this is the only part of the map in try mode that you can do this with. We've got it perfectly lined up there. Bounce, bounce, bounce. So you can imagine, with the number of bounces that we're getting just right here, perfectly lined up, all the damage that you're doing. You're also unstoppable, so you're eating all of the skill shots that potentially CC teammates. And then really just try to picture this on Tomb of the Spider Queen or Dragonshire, Cursed Hollow, places with really close avenues of battle that have, you know, those really tight chokes, and you could just see this go off. You can cancel it early if you need to, but I mean, honestly, why wouldn't you just do it until you die if you can? Ha! It's fun and reasons and stuff. Now, our ultimates, I guess we'll talk about those first. So, Hordapulse is going to launch an empowered loot horde with Hogger attached, dealing 307 damage and slowing enemies by 50% for 2 seconds. Hordapulse loot horde, which is our trait, remember, the terrain, lasts for up to 20 seconds, decaying rapidly while not nearby. So it's going to go away faster if we're not around it. Every 10 seconds, Hogger can take a chunk of meat from the loot horde. So let's take a look here. We're going to toss it there. Boop. I haven't actually taken any damage. So the radius, I'm assuming, is where we need to stand. Oh, yeah, there. Okay, I get it. So it wouldn't do it because I hadn't taken any damage. So let's toggle that cooldown. Let's go take some more damage. There's no towers there. Just hold. So basically what we're going to do is just show you the absolute range and utility of the ability, because I think this is going to be your number one pick. Shockwave, I think, is going to be good as well, but the longer cooldown is a thing. And you're going to direct where Hogger lands with this ability too. That makes perfect sense. Okay. So I was wondering what the little arrow is around the location there, but that's just where you put Hogger. So you can essentially block an enemy there, land on the other side, and that's immediately going to start healing you if you've taken damage. And then, while it is, you can see the little red bar indicator underneath its timer. That's how long it's going to take to give you your meat back, which is nice. That seems really, really cool. And then once it explodes, you're going to get some more meat as well. Just for more healing, seems really good. The slow 50%, nice. I mean, it's going to give Hogger a bunch more mobility. Well, he already has a lot of mobility with his E, but this is a second chunk of mobility and a lot of healing to keep him alive. because the loot hordes are going to be unkillable, seems really, really good. So we're going to throw this one over here. We're going to put another one down over here. And basically, these things are just going to toss so much meat at us. We're going to pick that one up. This one's going to have another heal for us in 5 seconds. Boop, there it is. So just between our ultimate and our trait, that's 45%. 45% max health healing that we're getting back from those. And once our ultimate loot horde dies, that's another 15% there. It's a stupid amount of healing. Obviously, it's all over time, but like just it's going to keep him alive. I promise you that. The other one is going to be Shockwave. Now, after 0.5 seconds, slam the ground, sending out a shockwave that travels in a long line. Enemies hit with the initial slam take 671 damage and are stunned by 1.25 seconds. Enemies hit by the shockwave take 460 and are stunned by 0.75. That's a cool indicator. The indicator did not look like this in the Spotlight video. That's neat. So it's got a wind up, and there you have it. But this is on a 70-second cooldown for a 1.25 second stun and some damage. It's really long range though, and I guess it's gonna knock up everything. I don't know. Seems good. I mean, it's definitely not bad. So it only knocks up on the shockwave outside of the main thing here. That's good. I like it. I think that's a really cool ability. I just see the other ult doing a lot more because, number one, Hortipult's only a 50-second cooldown. Shockwave is a 70-second cooldown. But there's going to be use for this. I think it's going to be like a 60-40 thing. 60% is Hortipult. Oh my god. And then 40% Shockwave. Good stuff. But I'm going to talk to you about the build here so I don't go too long-winded on the video. I have a build in mind specifically for Hogger that's going to be doing a lot of healing. I have a very strong feeling that this character is going to be getting a lot of his tankiness from healing and just standing in the middle of fights, doing lots of really angry, disrupting, while maybe not doing as much damage. So at level 1, we're going to pick up Journeyman Cooking. Each hero hit by Easy Throw Dynamite heals you for 6% of your max health. And then when you hit characters with the ability, you're going to increase your max health by 10 up to 750. So 75 hits with your W is going to get you a maximum bonus health of 750, coupled with your 5,000 health as it is. You're almost 6,000 health as a bruiser, with a lot of percentage-based healing on top of that. I think this is just going to be number one, the best way to make this happen. Now, I'm going to show you just how much healing that we can get out of this, because it is 7% or 6% per hero hit. And since our W is an AoE ability, you can kind of figure out just how much we're going to get back. So let's put it right there, hit all three of them. Boom. It did 307 per hit at level 20, and then that's 921 entirely if we hit 3 people. If we just manage to hit one person right on the nose, that's 600 health just for hitting 2 people. And this is going to synergize extremely well with some later talents in our build. So let's just go right into those. Level 4 is going to be aggro range. Now, I know some of these other talents look interesting, but I guarantee you they are not going to be as good as this. Because your E does not generate rage on its own, and when you take this talent, you're increasing the radius of the ability by 25%. And then each enemy hit is going to generate 1 rage. That's anything, enemy that you hit that's not a building, I assume. And then heroes are going to give you 3 rage. So, if you're landing big E's in tight corridors, you're going to be generating rage with both your Q, your W, and now your E, which is going to make you deal more damage with your E, which is going to make your abilities cool down faster, and it's just all around going to buff Hogger's kit so much, there's really no reason not to take it. The other options, that you have at this tier are going to be Brute Force, which is a quest to hit your Q for bonus attack damage and passively increasing the range of Loot Horde by 50%. Not terrible, not great. And Hogger's Joggers, I think, is the worst of the three, because while above 30 rage and 50 rage, you're going to get increased movement speed and healing received, which is meh. But it's a conditional talent. It just doesn't feel... I think Hogger needs, static achievement. Like, he needs to be buffed right away. Like, you need to have flat bonuses from your talents and your abilities going off. Getting to that rage point is probably going to be pretty easy in an actual game if if we're talking about team fights. But imagine you get caught by the enemy team and they kill you instantaneously. You can't even generate enough rage to make any use of the abilities that these things give you. So, it seems kind of shitty to me. At level 7, we're picking up Dense Blasting Powder, and this is going to cause RW to do two things. The instant detonation is going to create an additional dynamite behind the hero hit, or if we miss everything with it, we can slap our W with our Q, and it's going to break up into 3 pieces. So we'll toss this here, not hitting anybody. I didn't actually pick the talent yet because I'm a moron. Now we're going to redo the cooldowns. Toss that here, whack it, boom. Oh my god, just so much. And you can hear the questing dings. Those little dynamites count. Ta-da! They also count for the healing that we're getting. So in case you didn't see it, we were at probably about 50% of our health at the onset of that whole thing. But I'll show you just how much healing you can get back on these abilities. Let's toss a perfect one there. Technically, we just hit 4 people. So we just got, what is that? 6 times 4 is 24% back of our maximum health. Let's toss this here, slap it there. I don't think those are going to hit. Oh my god, they did. And that is an insane amount of healing. That's just so much healing on a ranged ability for the character. I mean, tell me that the other ones are even good. I think Garbage Fire is going to be really good too, just not with this build. I think there's going to be a backup build for the character. Yeah. But reduce the cooldown of Loot Horde by 4 seconds. Every 0.5 seconds, enemies in a large area are going to take 55 damage and are slowed by 20%. The body blocking that you can get out of that is just going to be made easier by the 20% slow, and the additional damage coming from it's going to feel real good too. But Seeing Red is another one of those conditional talents. I don't see it being good. I'm sorry. At 10, just going to take Hortipult. And then at level 13, we're going to take Dust Devil. Gain 40 armor while Hog Wild is activated, and for 3 seconds after. And then while we're above 50 rage, and we can generate rage from our E because of our level 4 talent, we are going to get 60 armor. 60% damage reduction while spinning, and we're completely unstoppable, and this can go for basically ever if we're aiming it correctly. Fucking... The enemy team will never be able to kill Hogger, because he's going to be getting a shitload of healing, he's going to have 60 fucking armor, or 40 armor, I mean, both are pretty ridiculous, and that's crazy. That's just crazy. Pummel, enemies hit by Hog Wild are slowed up to 5 times by 10%, so you can potentially get a 50% slow, but since it's only a 1.5 second, and they have to get hit multiple times by the ability, I don't see that being super useful. The spell power reduction seems really good, but at the same time, the armor's still way better. Damaging heroes with basic attacks, Staggering Blow, or Hog Wild heals you for 33% of the damage dealt. Probably the weakest talent of the tier, but definitely the kind of talent that you are going to take in situations where you don't do a lot of team fighting with the character. I think he's going to get kind of relegated to the offlane, unfortunately, but this may be an offlane talent. Who knows? 16, let's see. We're going to take Kablooey. Instant easy throw dynamite detonations deal 40% more damage and reduce its cooldown by 1.5 seconds, increasing its slow amount to 50%. So perfect lands of our W, which we can get multiple instances of because of our dense blasting powder, are going to deal more damage and slow by 50% for 1.5 seconds. And we're going to increase the range passively by 25%. So, just... it's nuts. Going to blast there. Both of these are slowed by 50%. And then we don't even have toggle cooldowns on. And that damage right there, that was decreasing the cooldown by 1.5 seconds for hitting multiples. Now, let's say we throw this here. We do a Q. We've already reduced the cooldown as well. It's just so good. We can't do it again, obviously, because we don't have the rage for the cooldown reduction on our Q. But that's nuts. And this is a ranged ability again. It's going to be Hogger's main form of healing because of the percent max health increase. It's just so good. That was more healing than it was cooldown reduction. But you get the idea. I mean, obviously it's going to take some time to learn to aim. Berserker is the other talent at 16. Hitting enemies with staggering blow or dynamite increases the damage of the next basic attack by 50%, stacking twice. And then Hogger gains 30% move speed after using his E. I don't think this is good. I really don't. I mean, you're gonna find whatever. You're gonna build auto attacks with Hogger. You go this, but ugh. Yeah, I don't think that's good. And then at 20, all of Hogger's options at 20 seem extremely good. So, Secret Stash every 2 seconds, Hortipult's Loot Horde randomly launches Easy Throw Dynamite, prioritizing nearby enemy heroes. Every 5 seconds, it also launches a chunk of meat towards Hogger. Holy shit! It's even throwing more. Okay, so let's... I really need to take some damage. Let's toggle the minions back here. Kill me, everybody. Alright, I want to drop to like 10% so I can see really just how much we can do with this. There we go. So far down. And we're going to throw this out here. Pop over to this side. Going to be throwing dynamite, which is healing us, BTW. While we're throwing our own W down. Holy shit. Just the one use of our ultimate gave us all that healing. And it's throwing dynamite out, which is slowing people by 50%. Remember. Like, fuck, man. This is insane. And this is on a 50-second cooldown. This is on a 50-second cooldown. And it's already a 50% slow on its own. I mean, just tell me. I think this is just number one best option. Like, whoop. Then we're going to do that. We're going to do one of those. Probably not going to get anything out of that. Didn't even manage to bounce. We cannot slap the tiny dynamites. We can only slap the boot full of dynamite. So, when you see these little guys, don't hit them with your Q. But these ones... Not to mention all the healing that you're going to be getting back from the loot horde that you've popped out. It's nuts, man. I get it. So, normally Hortipult is going to give you meat every 10 seconds. At 20, it's going to be every 5 seconds. It's insane. That's insane. And then the dynamite that's shooting out. Holy fuck, just... There's going to be so much shit for the enemy team to dodge, there's just going to be nothing that they can do. I would compare that to like a bomb toss for Gazlo at 20, because that seems fucking insane to my brain. So that's a 1, a 2, a 2, a 1, a 1, a 2. I should have taken the other ult so I could check that, but we'll do no control first. Activate to cast an untalented Hog Wild and begin chasing an enemy hero. After reaching the hero, bounce to a random nearby enemy hero, lasts up to 6 seconds, rapidly decaying if there are no other heroes nearby. Now, this talent seems kind of memey, but it's also fucking hilarious. Because it is just point and click, and you could do this. If you get stuck in a team fight with Hogger, and you need to give some time to your team to, like, come help you out, you just do one of these. You're completely untargetable. You're going to be all over the fucking place. You're going to be really hard to hit. I mean, it feels good. Probably not a great talent otherwise, especially in comparison to Secret Stash, but, like, fuck, man. That's still really cool. Alright, reset talents. We're going to go 1, 2, 2, 2 this time. 1, 2. Power Spike. Hitting heroes with Shockwave reduces their armor by 15 for 4 seconds and grants 20 Rage. Rage's cooldown reduction affects Shockwave's cooldown. Interesting. So it's still... We're only removing about a third of the cooldown.
Not for long.
I guess that's going to drop us to like a 50-second cooldown. If we're at full rage that whole time, mind you. We do get a lot of rage just for hitting one. Damn, son. That's pretty good. Put this over here. Slap you into that. I'm just checking the cooldown right now. I don't know. I don't feel like that's worth it. I mean, it gives Hogger a really good engage, right? But I don't think this is the kind of character that you're going to want to engage with. I think Shockwave is going to go the way of Leap. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It is a ranged stun, so... Could be cool. The 20 upgrade seems pretty lackluster in comparison, but at the same time, maybe it's just because I haven't played the ability enough. Oh well. It's 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. Anger Management. Increase maximum rage by 50, raising the maximum bonuses for its cooldown refresh rate to 75% and Hogwild damage to 150%. Basic attacks are going to grant 5 additional rage, where they already grant us... How much? 5. So we get 10 per auto attack, so it's only going to take 10 autos to fill up the bar. You probably pick this if you're going the auto build, but I don't particularly seeing it being incredible. Probably the least impactful of the group, with Secret Stash being the best. Since I don't remember talking about our level 1 talents very much, Bones to Gnaw, Loot Horde creates a chunk of meat when it lands, while under the effects of meat gain 10 armor. That's going to be really, really, really strong all throughout the game, because 10 armor, holy shit. And that is for the 5 seconds worth of maximum health healing that you're getting. So you're going to get that twice, once when you drop it, once when it ends. It's 30% of your max health healed over 10 seconds, but that's also 10 armor for that entire duration as well. Pretty fucking good. And then on the Prowl, activate to get 30 rage over 8 seconds. And then you heal passively for 13, which is increased by 2% per point of rage. Least pickable. I don't think that's gonna be good at all. That's gonna need some serious number buffs, I think. But Bones to Gnaw kind of goes into the second build that I was thinking of with Hogger. So basically, we're going to take Bones to Gnaw. We are going to take Brute Force. I know, kind of weird. Then we're going to take Garbage Fire. Going to take Hortipult. We are going to take Dust Devil Still. And then we're going to take Headbanger, I think, right? Yes. Because Headbanger, I didn't mention it, but enemy heroes stunned by Staggering Blow are going to take 8% of their max health as damage and are stunned for an additional 0.5 seconds, which is going to take it up to a 1.25 second. This percent health does not work on Deathwing because he cannot be stunned, so remember that. If you're looking for percent health counter to Cho'Gall, you got it, but Deathwing can't be stunned, so he can't take 8% of his max health. I know, kind of sucks. And then we're going to take Secret Stash again. But basically, what this build is going to do for us is let us throw our D to a longer range. And then, obviously, everything that we're doing... Oh, okay. Kind of fucked it up. So let's toggle the cooldowns. We're going to throw this out. There is meat for us for the 10 armor there. It's going to give us another 10 here. We're going to continue healing. We're going to throw this way. Does this? No. So our Hortipulse launcher does not drop meat right away, whereas this one will. Grab this for the 10 armor again. Is this going to give us meat when it explodes? It does. So you couple all those things together. There's a lot of armor that you're getting. There's a lot of healing that you're getting. You're also increasing your basic attack damage a lot. And with Hortipult, you're going to be having a lot of fun chasing people down with your autos. So you should have a lot of auto attack damage. Garbage Fire obviously making it really easy to stand on top of people and do that with the slow, the body blocking, and the reduced cooldown of the D. And then, I think, let's see, no, hang on. Toggle the cooldowns, let's cancel that first. So, we use our Hortipulse right on top of the guy and come over this way, and then we just slap him in. Alright, that's how that should work. So it's kind of vector targeted. You need to drag it backwards while you're aiming right on top of the person, and I missed it entirely. Ew. Ooh, I went to the wrong side that time. That's a little bit tough. The aiming is going to require some precision. You gotta go right on top of them. That's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But still, stunning them into it means 8% max health damage for you. Dang. And then you can throw another one out there, just in case. Seems good. Not as good as the initial builds, but anyway. That is the two builds that I think are going to be the best for Hogger. You could also take the auto builds. I don't think it's going to be good at all. So, you know, do with that what you will. Yeah. I'm going to try to play some games with this character, I think, but that is going to be it for this video. Let me know what you think of Hogger, his abilities, everything going on, and we will do our best to play a couple games with him before he releases live to see if we can get any practice on what's going on with him. But I appreciate you hanging out. I will see you next time with something new.